Hello everyone, welcome you all in this video tutorial. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the Warburg effect for the cancer cells and the Warburg effect, which is also called as hallmark for the cancer. So let's start with the introduction and definition of Warburg effect. So the Warburg hypothesis is postulates that the driver of tumorigenesis is an insufficient cellular respiration, or he postulates that the cancer cells or the tumor cells have effect of insufficient cellular respiration. Now let's understand first that what is cancer. So cancer is defined as a group of diseases which involve abnormal cell growth, or which are caused due to the abnormal cell growth. So basically it is a condition where some of our body cells grow abnormally, and they grow very exponentially so that they become tumorous, and then after some time they become malignant tumorous and spread all over our body. So this situation is called as cancer. So now let's understand the discovery or about the life history of the discoverer. So Otto Heinrich Warburg have discovered about the Warburg effect, and he was born on the October 8 in 1883. He found that all the anaerobic respiration methods in the cancer cells, which are called as Warburg effect later. And he was also awarded by Nobel Prize in 1931 for this discovery. And his discovery was named as the discovery of the nature and mode of action of the respiratory enzymes. This is the picture showing Otto Heinrich Warburg. Now let's understand the features of Warburg effect. So basically the Warburg postulates that tumor cells commonly show the condition of hypoxia or lack of oxygen. And the rate of glucose uptake and glycolysis is much faster in cancerous tumors as compared to other non-cancerous tumors and other cells of our body, which are normal cells. We know that there are two types of tumors. When the tumors act as a malignant and they start spreading in all of our body, so they termed as a cancerous tumors, and these cancerous tumors have tenfold much faster rate of glycolysis as compared to other normal cells. So in other cases, the tumor cells also overproduce several glycolytic enzymes like an isozyme of hexokinase 2 and many other enzymes, which are the responsible factors for this faster growth or faster rate of glycolysis these cancerous tumors. And there are also some proteins named as HIF1, which stimulates the activity of all the glycolytic enzymes and provide tumor cells capacity for surviving in the anaerobic condition. So let's understand all these facts in our slide. So let's understand the process of Warburg effect or the hypothesis of Warburg with this graphical presentation. So here we can see two types of tissues. The first one are differentiated tissues or the normal body tissues, and the another one are proliferative tissues, also called as cancerous tissues or the tumor cells. So in the case of differentiated tissues and the normal cells of our body, they use ATP for all their cellular functions, and it is also considered as an energy currency. And all the cells produce energy with the process of oxidative phosphorylation or cellular respiration, which completes in the mitochondria of our cell. So the cellular respiration starts from the process of glycolysis, and this is the only process which completes in the cytoplasm of the cell. So in the case of the glycolysis, the molecule of glucose converts into two molecules of pyruvate or pyruvic acid. And in the presence of oxygen, this pyruvic acid undergoes the mitochondria and take part in the oxidative phosphorylation reaction, where the 36 molecules of ATP are produced for each molecule of glucose. So this is the major pathway for the production of ATP in the normal tissues. So basically in our differentiated tissues there are two types of respiration pathway. The first one is aerobic pathway or aerobic respiration, which completes in the presence of oxygen. Or in the condition of hypoxia or lack of oxygen, It completes in the absence of oxygen, which is called as anaerobic process or anaerobic respiration. So in this condition, the glucose molecule converts into the pyruvate, and after then this pyruvate undergoes lactic acid fermentation process and converts into the lactate or lactic acid molecule. So in this process, there are only 2 molecules of ATP are produced for per molecule of glucose, and this is considered as anaerobic glycolysis. And this situation only occurs when the cell is going through the hypoxia condition or lacking the oxygen in cells. But in the condition of proliferative tissues or tumor cells, either the oxygen is present or absent in the cell, the glucose converts into pyruvate, and most of the pyruvic acid or the major portion of pyruvate undergoes the lactic acid fermentation process and converts into the lactate or lactic acid, and only 5 to 10%, which is very minor proportion of the all over pyruvate, went through the aerobic process or the oxidative phosphorylation in this situation. So this is the Warburg effect, which shows that in the presence of enough oxygen in the cell, the pyruvate molecules undergoes the fermentation process instead of oxidative phosphorylation. And in this condition, only 4 moles of ATP are produced for per mole of glucose. 2 molecules in the process of glycolysis and another 2 molecules in the process of lactic acid fermentation. So this is called as the Warburg effect, where the tumor cells or the cancerous cells choose the pathway of anaerobic respiration over the aerobic respiration, instead in the enough oxygen is present in the cells. Now let's understand that what are the causes for Warburg effect. So there are several mitochondrial disorders which causes the Warburg effect because they can't perform the oxidative phosphorylation properly, because we know that mitochondria is the site for the cellular respiration. And the situation of hypoxia or the absence or lack of oxygen also cause the Warburg effect, because when the oxygen is not enough, the pyruvate went to the anaerobic process or the fermentation process to get enough energy. And there are also some altered metabolic enzymes which alter the oxidative phosphorylation method and went to the fermentation method for the energy production. So let's understand the significance of Warburg effect. So Warburg effect promotes the proliferation of HCC cells in our body, and this effect inhibits the apoptosis of HCC cells, which encourages the condition of cell proliferation and cancerous condition in our body, because as we have seen there are several causes of Warburg effect, but in the condition of cancerous cell there is enough oxygen present, but beside this these tumor cell adopt the method of fermentation for the production of energy. So in that condition these cancerous cell take much more ATP and generate less ATP, and this effect promotes the tumor cell metastasis. So let's understand the methods to avoiding the Warburg effect in our body. So the methods include the physical exercises and to control the carbohydrate uptake and the maintain blood sugar level, so that our body can maintain proper rate of glycolysis. And there are several other methods that to get enough sleep and to avoid oxidative stress, because as we have discussed in our all other videos that oxidative stress also lead to the cancerous conditions, and these cancerous cells also adopt this method to production of energy, because for dividing faster rate they need carbon matrix, because we know that the only nucleus is not dividing, whole cell is dividing, and to make copy of all the organs they need carbon matrix, and they get this carbon matrix by the process of fermentation or by the process of aerobic respiration. So in this video, we have discussed about the Warburg effect for the cancerous cells, the features of Warburg hypothesis, and methods to prevent them or to avoid the Warburg effect in our body.